This is my channel right here. It's called DMC Sessions. Yo, how's it everybody? How's it going? How you doing? I go by the name of Apendule Pakat, and this is the DMC Sessions. Man, we had a wonderful time this month as we celebrated Women's Month. And as you guys see, man, we've been talking to a lot of wonderful ladies, wonderful women with powerful minds, intelligent, and I think we should just close off Women's Month with a bang, you know what I'm saying? Close off Women's Month with a bang, man. So I'm joined today by my older sister, Sis Angie. And, I just wanted to talk to her about a couple of things because there are things about her that I see are necessary to learn, especially for women and for young women, because, she'll tell you all about it, but she's a single mother. And she's working for herself, she's doing the most. She's raising 3 wonderful boys, my nephews. Shout out to the young kings. And yeah, man, we're just gonna delve into to your story. I'm very inspired by you,
Thank you so much.
And I just thought that I wanted to put this out there for other women to learn from, Mm-hmm. So otherwise, yeah, man, just tell us about Mubani, who you are, where you're from, just for people to just get to know you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I go by the name of Angie. Well, that's my nickname that I got since your high school. But my full name is Angezwa Dlulane. I am from Eastern Cape in Butterworth.
Yeah.
And then actually relocated from Eastern Cape to Johannesburg. I think it was around in the 90s. And then, and then I did my high school here, tertiary here.
Woodmead, ne?
Yeah, I went to Woodmead in Wendywood High.
Wendywood High, yeah.
I went to Wendywood High, and basically half of my life was just in Joburg.
In Joburg, ne? Alright. So what do you do?
At the current moment?
Yes, at the current
my
moment.
Profession.
Yeah.
Well, at the current moment, I'm a personal assistant for a French company in Bryanston. It's an investment company where we do investments for your government, like in around Africa. So basically, our headquarters are based in Paris.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
in Paris. Are you gonna go there at some point?
I hope it's in the cards.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, man. I'm grateful that you brought me here. We're 10 years apart, by the way. It may not look like it because you know what I'm saying. How do you stay looking good, by the way? Can you give them the gems? Give them the gems of
that's
how.
That's my secret. But actually, anyway, it's not that deep though. It's more of a lifestyle change. It's how I do. It's like a need, like how I, live my life. The gym, I'll say it's the basic core. Eating healthy is also another basic core.
Yeah.
And my prayer life as well, it also keeps me calm in terms of stress and pressure. So, we age when we always overstress and overthinking things. So that's where my spiritual life gels in as well. And then for body and mind, it's my gym. And then for my soul, it's the kind of food that I eat.
What type of food and what?
Well, I'm more on the... I won't really say I'm vegetarian, but I do make sure that I have quite a lot of vegetables in my food, like in terms of even fruits. My breakfast will be something like smoothies with veggies and fruits. And then there's even between the lunch, there must be a vegetable also included, even with my supper. So but snacking, it would be still my fruits. But then I do have your steak or your meat there and there. So, but yeah,
I keep it
balanced.
Yeah. And then gym, like exercises.
Well,
what type of exercise do you
It depends. I do everything actually. I try to balance like everything. Like let's say on my Monday mornings, I know that okay, I start with my jogging, right? And then let's say the next day I do weight trainings. And
you do it before work, yeah? Like in the
no,
morning?
first thing in the morning, yeah. First
Okay.
thing in the morning. That's how I start my day, because like it's like therapy. You know, I need to first invest in myself before I go and invest in other people. Because when you go to the world, you're gonna have to swallow a lot of things and emotions and pressure and all this stuff. So I just gave myself that 1 hour to say, Angie, this is about you, nobody else, because you're gonna have a lot to deal with during the day. So basically my training, it's more like, you know, diverse. It's a lot of, there's jogging, there's weight training, there's cardio in between, heat, what else? And then only on weekends where I do yoga.
Oh, okay.
Then on weekends
So it's a daily thing. It's a daily practice,
of
no?
Course.
And I remember, there was a time used to be, both you're always in and out, but you used to go in and also back then.
And I'll be there the whole day.
Yeah.
I'll be there the whole day.
Gym a lot. I remember the first time after you had your Gamba, the first time.
I remember.
She went like from this to this.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, how the heck did you do that? But I heard something about like if you gave birth, it's quicker for you to.
Yeah, well, it depends with women's body. It's not the same. As some people, they tend to gain more body weight with the baby. Some tend to lose more quicker. So it's also with the, like when you're pregnant, like you, some people they gain more weight. Some people they don't gain as much. So I mean, I think body types were just not the same. You know? But yeah, I guess I'm lucky with the genes. I think the genes also count quite a lot. Yeah.
The genes.
Yeah, the body genes, like your genetics.
Okay.
Yeah, your genetics. So they do quite count a lot. Because I might tend to, let's say, lose quicker than you, but you're doing the same thing. But also depending on my metabolism is more, you know, absorbed and quicker. So yeah.
Okay, so I guess with the question that I guess most young women probably wanting to ask is, how do you manage, you know, as a single mother? How do you keep it going? How do you raise 3 boys? One of them, okay, first of all, tell us about your boys, your sons. Who are they, how old they are, and maybe you can touch on them about who they are, and then tell us how do you know, how do you go
about it?
How do you do it? Yeah.
Well, Gamva, that's what we call him. His full name is Gamvaletu. He's now 14.
Okay.
He's in high school. I had him when I was around 24. Okay, I was still figuring myself out then. I was not that quite matured. But then he helped me get into the process of growing quicker.
Okay.
So Gamva is my firstborn, he's 24, and then my second boy is 7 years old, Melani. And then the last one, he's 2. That's Kumkani. Yes, that's the king.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So, but how I manage it, wow. You know, it has to be natural. Like it's a natural flow to be a mom. And one of the characteristics that I would say you need to have as a mom also, you need to be very selfless. You know, you need to be able to, nature and have the love that unconditional love. But then also with my prayer life and being a person who's very physically active, it does help me to manage my stress levels, because yes, kids can actually get to your nerves. And especially 3 boys, different ages. There's a teenager, there's a is it a toddler?
Yeah.
The 7-year-old.
Toddlers.
And then there's, I wouldn't call him an infant, the 2-year-old, but it's different levels of like mindsets that I have to actually adjust myself into and keep myself, you know, in that mood. Like, okay, I'm dealing with 3 different kinds
of human beings,
and
with their own mind, their own personalities.
But then I think if you do everything with love, it becomes so beautiful and natural. You know, there are times where I wake up with Kumkane, like I still do wake up in the middle of the night and he wants a bottle. That time I'm from work, I'm tired, it's been a long day. You still have to wake up at 2 a.m. and you have to wake up and go to the gym at 4:30. So it's like, but I know I have to wake up at 4:30, and but then when I'm doing that, being a mom, I don't feel like it's a chore. I don't feel like it's a job. I don't feel like I'm expecting a salary at the end of the month to do this. It's like I'm doing this because I love it. I enjoy it. For me, it's like I was born to nature, I think, because even when growing up, being the eldest granddaughter to the rest of the crew,
the cousins,
including changing, not changing nappies per se, but setting an example of being a bigger sister, making sure that everybody eats, making sure that the food is cooked. I'll put 10 plates on the table for everybody, washing dishes. So it's been like my in me since I was young, So I've always been a selfless person. Like thinking about other people, like making sure that they're okay, their needs are met.
Yeah.
Sometimes even before me.
Yeah.
That even sometimes even impacted me on my relationships. That I always put people before my own needs, and I'd forget like what does Angie want. So also like being a mom to my kids, like I make sure they are okay. I don't care even if I don't eat, but if I see them smiling, happy, eating, having a roof over their head, how I'm doing it, I have to make sure I work. And they need to be provided for. I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. So sometimes I make sure that, God, I need you.
Yeah.
That's where now my prayer life comes in, because I have to draw strength from something.
Yes.
From a very higher power, So then that's when I make sure that my prayer life is a daily basis thing, because I'm dealing with this on a daily basis. You understand? Some people can actually fall into the trap of like having anxiety, depression. It's overwhelming. It's too much.
For sure.
And that's when now many young people, they end up going to suicide and all this kind of things, which is a very painful thing. But when you know God, I'm sorry, I'm going to speak about him so much, because he has so much in the content of who I am right now.
Yeah.
But when you draw strength from him, everything becomes aligned, and he always gives me that assurance that don't worry about tomorrow, it's taken care of. If I can feed the birds, they're not even going to work. They don't even own a car or anything, but they eat every day, they drink every day. Who are you? It's my child, the queen of the royalty. You understand?
Nice.
So I always have that kind of a mentality, and I'm a very positive person. Anything that's positive coming from my mouth, I manifest. Like, I need to speak positivity in my life. And that's how I think I've manifested, like how to be a good mom, how to, be a good colleague at work, how to be a good friend, how to advise people, how to advise myself as well, to say, Angie, you know what, you might be going through a certain situation, but it doesn't mean it's permanent. It's temporary. God is just testing your strength and your faith, and knowing that he wants to know where you're going to turn to, and he knows that you have a pillar at the end of the night where you're going to cry to and wipe your tears.
She had those nights, man.
I do. Everybody, I think everybody goes through challenges and, those question marks, like what's going to happen, what if, and all those things. But then the person who always answers those things is only one person. For me, it's only one person, and yeah,
man, that's so dope. I feel like many people need to also have an understanding that it's not easy at all, and somebody who's managing, the way you're saying it comes from a spiritual place. People take for granted how much difference that makes. Dealing with anything, whether it's grief, whether it's raising kids by yourself, whether it's dealing with losing job or whatever your trauma is, coming out of that, being a better person, for the sake of testimony, because now this is a testimony, now you are able to share and you're able to make it more impactful, more powerful, making the faith more powerful, for other people to maybe let me try this out and see, because hey, I'm struggling, man. Like I can't do this. I'm losing my mind, because at the end of the day, when you're raising human beings, they are going to go out into the world.
It's true.
So it starts at home. It starts at home. Who they become. Could be raising the next president of South Africa.
Of course.
And
I also, just to add on what you're saying, kids, they learn from what they see. More than what you tell them.
Exactly.
I can't keep on telling my kids like, don't do this or come back home this time, blah blah. And yet I come home at 3 a.m. every night, carrying a bottle. And yet
that time is
so I need to set an example, because the assignment that I'm doing God's work. Raising kids, they're not mine. Yes, they are borrowed to me actually. I'm a nanny, in fact. I am brought to do a nanny's job.
Yeah.
You understand? They're not mine. But that's why I always like, and there's no manual how to raise kids, you know. You can't go to a bookstore and like find the proper, like a manual, you know, how to raise kids. But for me, my only manual is like my Bible and having a conversation with God and close relationship with Him. Because if I seek His kingdom, that's where everything starts becoming like how do you raise kids? How do you talk to kids? How do they respect you? How do I respect them as well? Yeah, because it's vice versa, you know. So you have to go to a manual, and who's the manual author?
Yeah.
Who created me? Who created them? It's like when you're having a messed up fridge.
Yeah,
you can't just
take it to the manufacturer.
Exactly. You can't take it to Hisense or Toyota.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sure.
So I have to go to the actual manufacturer, and who's the manufacturer? So yeah.
Who's actually gonna fix what needs to be fixed?
He
the
knows
right way,
what to be fixed.
what parts to be used.
Exactly.
Nah.
So I think sometimes the only problem that we always have as people, like, you know, when you coming into challenges, whether financially, relationships, raising kids, you want to just pick up the phone and call friends, like find out advice, you know, like, hey, I'm going through this, what should I do, and how do I do this? I mean, they are also as confused as you are. You understand? So how do you expect another person to actually give you an advice about your own problem? So for me, I always like, God, you're the only person who will never mislead me. You understand? I trust your ways better than humans, because we are all, you know, not perfect. We don't know all the answers.
Sure.
You know, so you just always pray about things, and definitely when you pray, you definitely get the perfect answer. You definitely get the perfect answer.
So, have they said anything about what they might want to become? Like, I know Milani is the second born. Like, he's very intellectual. He's an intellectual kid. I saw it from a young age. And Tukamba is also an intellectual, but very quiet, more reserved. You never really know what's going on in his life.
Yeah.
And then Ukumkani seems like from that young age, he's more the outgoing type, even though in the beginning he had trust issues. But
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Well, with Ukamba is also more like me in terms of like, I don't think he's so much into being in the office or, you know, studying and stuff like that. He told me he wants to be like a sports player. And he also told me the other time that he wants to have his own business, like, you know, but he never actually dwelled into like what kind of a business, but he's more out there. You understand? And then in terms of the books, yeah, he's okay. He's just average. Milani on the other side is more of like a bookworm. You know, he wants to be a scientist. He wants to work with doctors. And I'm like, what's the reason why you want to be a scientist? Because no, mommy, you know what? I want to create, when there was COVID, I want to create medicine that can actually help people to actually not have COVID anymore. So I want to work with them. So I want to create potions. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's potions and things like that. So basically, he's more like a bookworm. Even when he's bored, like at home, like let's say weekend, he doesn't really want to play around with toys or things like that. He wants to take a book. He wants to read on a weekend. He wants to read, like, mommy, I'm bored. I need a book. Can you give me a test? Like, let me write something.
Wow.
So yeah, he's very focused. When he even gets 1 mark wrong at school for his school test, like he cries, like seriously, like, I should have got 10 out of 10. But I'm like, at least baby, you tried, you got 9. You know, it's better. He's like, no, but I studied for this and I'm supposed to be getting, I don't know why I did this. I'm like, like it becomes so serious for him, and I have to go and buy him ice cream or something just to, you know, calm him down. So he's that kind of a type. And then coming to Kumkani is okay, he's still 2, but when I'm judging his actions at the moment, he loves music. He loves entertainment. So play gong for him. I'm telling you, he'll be doing some moves. Even sometimes with his hip hop. Now you see, I know I'm dancing like a hip hop. The head is like shaking, like So I think music, it's a bit of his calling.
It's a diverse household.
It's very diverse, and I think maybe all my kids actually. I think from Ukamva, his father's in the entertainment industry. So which is more like not in the office, so which is understandable. Milani, his dad is is an engineer or something like that, but which obviously does with software engineer, IT or something like that, which there's a lot of studying also there. So which is I Get It Why. And then Kumkane, his dad, is more into he loves music. Well, he was also not really like a bookworm person. He was like doing his own things, you know.
He was a very social person.
Very social person, loves music. Where there's music, he'll be there the whole night. So I Get It Why Kumkane is like, play Gom for me and I'll show you the most. So I think they get those traits from there. And then in terms of love, shame, maybe that's money. Because they are, all three of them, they do have that.
Yeah, they have a very loving, caring side.
Yeah, they do. They're not fighting. You never hear like, hey, Gamba is fighting whoever is, you know, or Milan is fighting people. No, they've got that love. So I think maybe that could be mommy's side.
Wow, okay. I just also wanted to touch on, like, since it's Women's Month, I wanted to talk about like women in general, you know. I wanted to find out from you because I know you have a lot of opinions about life in general.
Oh, wow.
And you once told me that you wanted to get into what public speaking, motivational speaking. I don't know if it's still something you want to do.
I used to.
But I feel like it's still there in you somewhere. Do you have anything that like you want to speak on in terms of, you know, women of today, what you'd like to share about them and what they deal with and how they should overcome, you know, what do you have to say for women this Women's Month?
Yeah, I think I've always had this passion for talking but not just talking crap, like just talking in terms of like advising someone and touching people's hearts in a positive way. And I've always had that. I remember when I used to go to Savannah Hills and mom is like, oh, we are teta. And
you go in. Like...
And I would go in the whole hour. It's like, so I've always had that thing. And I didn't even know Gucci. It's something that, you know, like Hinduans are like on purpose or something. It would just come.
It just comes out.
It would just come out. Sometimes I even post statuses and at that moment maybe I'm in the spirit like of something that just, you know, I'm feeling, you know. I didn't plan it. It just comes, and when it just comes, it just flows and flows and flows. But in terms of speaking in public, I think, okay, I don't know, maybe it's a sense of like, oh, now I'm so reserved. I'm so like, you know,
these days you're more reserved.
I'm more reserved.
What
I'm more reserved now, and I don't know. But women, I think, okay, with women nowadays, I think we are not the same as the women back then. Okay, principles and standards and values as women, it needs to still count, you know, in terms of like who you are as a person. You need to identify yourself as who you are, because it's easy to just gel in with everyone and go with the flow with everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we lose ourselves as people, you know. We need to choose the kind of people that motivate you, be surrounded with the kind of people that are in the same mindset as you, because it's easy to go down when you are actually trying to reach a certain part of your life. So finding that kind of a group where you guys are growing each other as women, you're speaking positively towards one another's, you're upgrading each other's lives, not because now women wanna step on each other's toes.
Sure.
Hey, I wanna take your man, I wanna take this. Like, you know, that's for me, that just kills people's spirits.
Where do you think that comes from? Is it media or what? Like,
from women.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think, yes, in general, women have always had this competition towards themselves. Like, you know, I want to be better than her. Who does she think she is? She's got Brazilian, she's got this.
Yeah, I've heard those conversations.
Yeah, and then guys go now, they talk about sports.
Yeah,
they talk about just chill things.
Yeah.
It's hardly guys like who just chill and talk about other people the whole day.
Yeah.
But women, the whole day, it's gossip, and you know, we put each other's down. So I've learned to manage those kind of spaces in my life. Like, okay, I can't be so much consumed with certain people where there's a women's space and we are always talking negatively of each other's. So I try to now create a space where the kind of people that God can bring a connection within my surrounding is the kind of people that are same-minded as me in terms of like, you know, our growth,
like way of life,
the way of thinking, and also being a mother. Yes, we might not all be perfect. I'm also not perfect, but you know, when we are just not speaking negatively, you know, Because I just find that quite a lot nowadays. Like women, you just want to speak negatively about people. Like, oh, she got this, and then peer pressure comes. Now you end up doing things that were not even meant to be in part of your means. So it's and then stress comes from there, anxiety comes from there, competition. It's a lot of it's not healthy.
And now social media also.
Oh, that one is the biggest killer now. The social media part, it just makes it worse. Like. And then the followers that now we also follow, like we don't even know their lifestyle, like the
real thing, like
the real thing. You understand? So, and we just they show us what we want to see, and nothing we want to follow. You don't know how she got that money.
Ish.
We don't know all those kind of things. So it's be careful who you follow, man. Yeah.
And what do you think they should? How do you think they can deal with some of the? Okay, now I'm going to speak more so to those who deal with the insecurities, not necessarily speaking negatively, but who had the receiving end of that negativity and now identify themselves in that way. And they don't even want to come out and feel beautiful because maybe they've been told they're ugly or they've been told they can't dress. And, now they take that in and now they feel like they are not maybe woman enough or they're not beautiful enough or, it just keeps them in. What do you have to say to those type of women?
I think when you believe in yourself, believe in yourself, if you speak positive to yourself,
sure.
Love yourself, do things that will actually make you happy. For me, also, the gym actually does count a lot, like in terms of your confidence, whether you're a woman or a guy, you understand? You don't have to wear expensive clothes to feel so good. Like you can just wear your Ackermans, your whatever, or Mr. Price. And when you're having that gym, what is it called? Endorphins and things like that. Hormones
endorphins
and stuff.
or
and
is it
the endorphins. But that good feeling afterwards, it's like it just covers everything. Like even you check your house, you check your car, you feel so content. Like it gives that happy hormone. I think it's also hormones as well that always makes us feel certain ways. Like you're driven so much about your hormones and your emotions. So when you tap into that hormonal part, you fix that part. The gym always do it good. It brings the happy moods, the happy good feelings. Also, I think with the food that we eat, you eat a lot of junk.
Yeah.
You're gonna think junk about yourself. You're gonna look, I feel this, I feel like that. I've gained so much. You're gonna only speak that. You're not doing any change. So change your eating habits. There's food that, when you eat, it makes you feel good. Like, let's say I've got a sister of mine, Sandy's one. Ever since she
shout out Sands.
Yes. Ever since she started her journey on vegetarian, there's so much change in her. There's so
she's looking
mentally wise, how she sees herself. She didn't grow up like that. You understand? So also the food does count, like how you end up projecting to yourself, and you end up believing that it's not about other people, what they think or what they say about me. It's about me and what God approves of me.
First of all.
Yes, we're not going to have flawless skins, all of us. We're not going to be always wearing makeup every day. You're going to be bare hair. Like, I even got to a point where I had to shave off my head. Like, I'm old, you understand? And I realized the reason why I did that was I felt so much content that I'm very much beautiful in my own skin. I don't have to have extensional things to add. Like, I'm complete. Whether I've got hair, whether I've got nails, whether I've got no eyelashes, whether I'm like that. But for me, you end up believing like this is who I am and I embrace it. It makes me happy. So I think the basic core point, working on yourself in terms of your physical being, in terms of the gym, the things that you eat also gives you that good clear up mind, because your head can be clogged up when you eat a lot of junk.
Sure.
I even introduce this to my kids. Like, from foundation, I give them only organic foods. You understand? With organic, your immune system becomes strong. You feel healthy. You feel this. You're resistant to sicknesses and all these things. So it does a lot of good things. And have junk, there's a lot of now you get sick quickly all the time.
And that's the thing, kids are always given sweets and all these things. You eat so much junk.
And then when you have so much sugar, you feel moody, you feel tired quickly, your energy levels just drop. They just drop. So the food, it does also a lot of change within your system, how you end up, how you see yourself. And then also praying as well. Like it gives you that confidence of like, you know, if I've got a final stamp from my father, then I'm okay.
Just press it again there.
Yeah, I just want to sit down.
In the society, right, we know that, I wanted to touch on this because now we spoke about women and we spoke about having to come into yourself first, heal yourself, be good with who you are before you go out into the world and expect it from anyone else. Now, in talking about relationships, man and woman, the relationship between the two, we realize that there's a lot of toxicity that takes place. Maybe one of the parties are not healed from certain traumas, or maybe both are not and they don't even know it. And it leaves a broken society, which can also sometimes leave a remnants for the kids to deal with. What do you think is the issue with women who maybe bash men? You know, we've heard about. What do you think about feminism? Also, I just wanted to ask that. So what do you think of feminism, and what do you think about like the relationship between a man and a woman?
Okay. Well, I'm not really much of a relationship expert, but in terms of like two people getting together, it's called a relationship. You are in a relationship, not like separation and things like that, drawing the other person apart. You're supposed to build one vision. And it's healthy for two people who are both healed to actually come together. Because when one is toxic and, you know, it's very hard for the one who's healed to build something with one who's not really, who's still dealing with traumas and things like that. It tends to be quite a lot of burden, you know, in the relationship, you know, that will affect them. And so when you guys are both healed, you become a light, actually, you know, you become a light in the relationship. For me, I was once also in a point whereby I was in a relationship where I think both of us were not healed, you know. So you find two toxic people, right? And that happens. And when you guys are both there, you are like bulls, you know. You don't have the strategies of how to manage this thing, you know. And but we still carry on and, you know, be in this relationship regardless, but at the end of the day it's got a negative end result at the end of the day, you know. You know, there was a say that I once read, like I think in a scripture though, in the Bible, that do not be unequally yoked. I think that just spoke so to me in so many levels, whether with anything, like, because when one is a light and then there's a darkness, what light does darkness have together? They clash, you know. So that's a very powerful thing, like that one has to really consider when you enter a relationship. It's very important that you guys are both in the light, you are both healed. Take your time. Healing is not an overnight situation, and
maybe it's a willingness. You need to be willing to heal.
You need to be willing to heal. And for me, one of the other steps that actually taught me how to heal, because healing actually, I mean, going through trauma, it's a lot of past experiences, a lot, you know, because we've been hurt so many times, whether it could be a childhood, it could be a colleague who has said something to you and it's been within you. It could be a past relationship, how they treated you, if you felt insecure now. There's a lot of things that we've been through as people. So now you need to actually, before you get into a relationship, clear out all those things, deal with yourself on your own, and then see how you are handling all those emotions by yourself, you know. And for me, the other thingy that actually helps, it's been helping me, in fact, you know, you need to write in a piece of paper, who has hurt me. Write the name and write who has hurt me. You can write as many names as you want. Write as many situations that is, you are taking it out. You understand? You don't have to give the piece of paper to that person to say, no, wait, this is what happened to me. No, it's for you. The healing is about you. It's not about that person who hurt you. It's about you dealing now with the things that you thought, oh no, I'm okay. It's over. It's been 10 years, so I broke up with him, so it doesn't matter anymore. No, it still does. You need to actually clear out your emotions. write them in a piece of paper, and once you've written them on a piece of paper, then you burn them, leave it to the universe, it's gone, you blow it away. Now, you know what was the problem. You know what has been hurting you. You've actually dealt with it. You took it out. You released it. Because when you write something on paper, you remember so many things that you.
You're forced to attend to it.
Yes.
And you're like, okay.
You're right. Whether it's a friendship, it's a childhood, it's an aunt who once said, "Uchi, hey, when you are useless," or right, this person, you are taking it out. You have that list. For me, that's been a very helpful thing that has helped me a lot, because I've had my fair share of being hurt, and also me probably hurting people, so I've been hurt, and it's close to be a year now actually, where I've been like, I just need to deal with my own peace and sanity and finding myself. I used to be hard. My word.
That's why I'm so shocked. Like, how come you're on now? Like,
I used to be so hard-headed. Like, I'll blow flames for everything. Like, you can't mess with Angie in a relationship and she'll just let it go. Like, she'll bring I think, there was a lot of anger there. Hey? There was a lot of anger. And I was asking myself, when I was writing that healing process, like, who hurt me? There was a lot of anger that it stemmed from a lot of things. And I was so shocked when I was having
that list.
God, you have to release all this. For your safety as well, for your for your sanity as well. So healing is very important, very, very important.
Sure,
it's very important. And then what was the question again?
Wait, sorry. Where did this start? Like this healing journey? Of yours.
The healing journey actually it started. I think what is it now? September, August, but it was sometime after I lost the father of my child. Kumkani is dead.
Oh, yeah.
That loss, it actually came and I didn't expect it. Okay, we don't expect it. But it was just also a shock. But after the whole loss, and I have to now come to my senses, like, okay, I've got a 3-month-old baby that I have to raise on my own. So there's a lot of things that I have to fix and raise, and now raising the baby and things like that, I need to be very careful, like, what is it that I bring into my life? So it actually clicked into my mind. Get back, check your healing, and then also I also got so much involved then also with God as well. Because when you seek Him, you end up seeing so many lights.
Yeah.
Because I was not aware when I was in a relationship with other people, with Him, and you having this kind of a challenge within yourself, I would always think I'm right because you did something wrong. So I was supposed to act like that. You did this to me, so why do you want me to be calm? Yeah. Why should I be calm when you did this to me? I have every right. In fact, I must kill you. So seeking God at that time actually brought so much exposure and so much healing, like showing me so many things that I wasn't really aware. You can never know when you get into His presence. I'm telling you, you will see it like clearly all the spots that are hidden in the dark. Because sometimes how the devil works. He will keep those things in the dark so that you stay there. That's how he wants to hold you. And he knows he's holding your destiny. He's holding your future marriage. He's holding your future jobs. He's holding your future destiny as a good mom. Kanti, when you're thinking, oh, okay, by me acting like this, it must be right. What kind of an example am I setting out to my kids? You understand? There's a lot of things
ripple effects.
Yes, there's a lot. So when I tapped into that spirit, so many things just showed me, like, Angie, healing will help you. This, you need to do this. And I read a lot of, actually listen to a lot of audios when it comes to like your spiritual readings and things like that, and healings and things, because the more knowledge you have, the better for you at the end of the day. You understand? That's why even the Bible would say, my people will lack because of lack of knowledge. Knowledge is very important. You can never stop learning as long as you are in the world. You need to keep on learning and learning and learning and learning. Imagine, I was even nowadays like even learning about marriage.
Wow.
I'm not even engaged, I'm not even dating. But I don't know why God directs me into learning so much. I even post things on my status like, submissiveness and man loving his woman and the unity and this. And I'm like, dude, you're not even dating. Why are you, but the knowledge that I'm giving to myself. Maybe there's a purpose. I don't know, because you might be doing something and you don't know what God is preparing you for. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might be doing something now. Why am I learning about marriage? Why am I learning about this? There's a reason why God is preparing you now. He knows that He's fixing certain things that maybe you didn't understand. Because I'll be like, why should I submit?
Yeah.
For what? Why can't you also submit? Let's submit together.
Yeah.
So I've been learning so much. He's preparing me for something. He's preparing me for something. And to submit is not only also in marriage. You can even submit to your your barber. If it once you cut your hair, it's like, go and sit on my bed. Sit still. You move do like it. This. So you need to.
Yeah.
So we submit. The Uber driver, he tells you, okay, no, sit here or whatever. So as long as you're in his car, you're gonna submit again.
Sure.
So why can't you now submit to your man also? So we need to learn how to submit. So yeah, I've been learning so many things, man. I don't think I'll ever grow old enough to learn a lot of things.
I think like kids, we still good then. Oh, sorry. I think like a lot of like the challenges. I'm gonna speak from our side as men also, man. I think most of the challenges that women deal with submission is because we are unable to lead also, and we are unable to live up to who we should be, to being a man. We don't understand what it means to be a man. You know, we've been taught a lot of toxic things about men being a man. You know, man should do this and this, and those things are kind of toxic, and they become a ripple effect. You end up abusing your children, you end up abusing your wife, you know, you end up abusing your sisters or whoever, the woman in your society. And you hear a lot of these stories now with the gender-based violence and everything, and it's like there's so much going on either side, and the ripple effect, I have to say, most of the time would come from the men and inflicting the pain, and then the women reacting from that, and now are scared to submit themselves. You know, but I've also seen situations where women who submit themselves to a good man, and how that looks, you know, how beautiful that looks, when a man can actually take charge and actually do the right thing. You know, it also pushes you guys to submit to that type of thing.
Because your man is supposed to be your priest. You know, he covers you. When you feel covered, you feel protected as a woman. Because we women, we want to be protected. We want to feel covered. You know, so when a man can actually do that, I mean, like, you obviously
and you guys you don't want to admit that, and a lot of women don't want to admit that. What? You want to actually feel protected and
gosh, like I think if you picture a baby who's like 3 years old with a daughter, and you see them with the father, picture that.
Wow.
We as women, we emotionally involved. You guys want to show love, like, you know, but we want to feel that emotion. You know, but you are hugging me as my daddy. You are loving, you telling me you love me. You know, and then when someone hurts me on the road, like, I'm gonna tell my daddy. You know how that goes. So it's a two-way street actually to make it work. So yes, a lot of men, they do fail in terms of taking their role, in terms of covering their woman, protecting their woman. I think there's a PPP, 3 P's: protect, prophesy, or protect, prophesy, and there's another provide. Yes, because I mean, a father provides for his kids. You know, you provide. So if you do all those protection and things like that, a woman feels so.
You need to go and cut the wood, bring it to the home, burn the fire.
Well, nowadays things have changed. Women are also bringing
taking it to the
they are bringing. But I think for me, like the whole thing, it's like a man with knowledge who grows you. Like what I'm saying, like, he's a priest, he's a leader. You know, he doesn't have to be like, oh, okay, he's the one who brings more money than we can bring the same amount. But if you know how to lead the family, you know, you've got principles
on a spiritual level.
You've got principles, you've got values, you've got standards. How you do things. You know, you automatically, I'm led by you.
Wow.
The kids. It's not necessarily about the finances, because we don't always have to pinpoint the finances. But you have to earn more than me, then I won't date you. But if you have that, you know that. You are led by the Spirit. You are actually led by God. And obviously, I'm the church. You know, then automatically we follow you. We look up to you. I even ask you for advice. You advise me. You know, I get wisdom from you and knowledge, because, you know, it's that's why I think, like, you know, also if men can actually get to know, have a relationship with their fathers,
Yes.
they'll be able to know how do I lead my kids, how do I lead my family, you will get that wisdom, you will get that knowledge how to lead, you know. But then now the problem is that now we have a society whereby men are like, no, having a relationship with God or going to church, it's a woman's thing. Now I'm gonna go to Chisenyam, it's a Sunday. That I'll just drop you off and then I'll pick you up. So it's been that way. Like you find women are always the one going with kids to church.
Yes.
You know, so and it's not supposed to be like that actually, you know. It's actually the other way around. You are the father, you are the one who's even supposed to be telling us, guys, before you sleep, let's all pray.
Wow.
Guys, before we do this, let's do this. Family vacations. I used to have a very fabulous dad, man. For me, that guy, he's still like my dream man. Wow. Like when if a guy wants to date me, like if you're not matching up to the standards of like being a man, being a leader, being a provider, you loving your kid, and sure men are failing, hey, because I'm putting them on that high pedestal. My father did this, and if you can't reach even close to there, you know, being, you know, his presence, you feel he's here. That's how a man is supposed to be. You need to feel, not to fear them, but to respect them. You understand? Because your father needs to be your friend. Your man needs to be your friend. You need to, like, every time you're going through a situation, like whether at work or with friends, like you feel so comfortable to go to your man. You understand? Like he leads you, he comforts you, he advises you in a correct manner how to do things. Correct you. So there's a lot of things that a man can actually do besides he is always having to bring the wood and sweating. I mean, like even us as women, we are the support systems. You know, a relationship is meant to be about supporting also the man. You know, making sure that, baby, do you want me to help you with this? Because I'm not meant to be at the back and I'm supposed to be side by side
with you.
Because you hear me better when I'm next to you than I'm yelling at the back. You understand? And also how I speak to you as my man. I should not be saying, this man, stop eating like this. You know, you talk to your man like your partner, your man, your best mate, your best friend, your soulmate, the person that you are building with. You can't be talking to him like, hey, I'm training him. You can't train a man. You can only train your kids. So stop ladies saying, no, I'm training him to be like this. Why are you training an old man? The mom was supposed to be the one training the son. When are you meant to be there to support him, show him? Also, you know, you guys are support systems, not training. You can only train kids to your own kumgani, how to go and use a potty training. Why are we now training men? And the man, actually, if he feels like there's two bulls in the house, he's gonna fight you.
He's gonna rebel.
Because now he feels like, okay, so we are two here. Let's see who's gonna win. And I'm gonna show you. And then now the relationship ends up sinking because there's two bulls. One needs to be a mom, one needs to be a man, and there needs to be kids. It's supposed to be like that kind
strong
of relationship.
Family.
Yes.
Yo, he said a lot there, man. Like, I'm just
Sorry.
that was beautiful.
Sorry.
I'm glad.
Well, I learned all this later. Don't think I've always had this knowledge. I never had this knowledge for the very, very long time. If I had this, I'm sure, I'll probably be 30 years into marriage giving you advice, like in terms of, hey, you know what, I've been married, so this is what actually makes my marriage work. But now that God is actually working through me right now, and he's still having his way in.
You can always be used.
Yeah, so now I'm in the light. You know, I'm seeing like, oh, my mistakes were like this. These were my mistakes. And thank God I didn't actually get married back then. Because imagine if I forced marriage back then. I'm sure I would have been a divorcee of divorcee and divorcee. Trying to force, because that is women want to force marriage. Hey, when you know, because let's, you know. So we need to take our time, like in terms of like growing as women, grow in all aspects. Grow in all aspects because you want to be this person that God wants to use you as a woman, you know. Even men also, don't rush into, I want to get married because my friend did this. God has already worked away in that guy's life. He's still working in you. And there's a lot of potholes that God needs to fix and fix and fix and fix and fix and fix and show you, you know. And then there's no timeline into these kind of things, you know. It's better to learn than to mistakes. So
and the thing is, you learned a lot from your mistakes because now all the things you've dealt with have given you so much wisdom. I mean, wisdom comes with experience.
Exactly.
So you have a lot more to share. Now you're a teacher because you know firsthand how it is. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who are going to relate with you. Some who are probably still where you were. And hearing your words are going to be like, actually get them thinking differently.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah, and pride, guys, it just kills a lot. When you have so much pride, like, but I always have to win a conversation, whether with whoever. I always want to win this. I'm not gonna. He has to apologize first, and all this kind of things. And peace is very important. Apology is very important. Sometimes, we forgive even those who hurt us without even them coming to us. It's for your own sanity as well, or your own peace of mind as well. So when you have a lot of anger and this and that and that and that and that, it also consumes you, and in a very negative way. So people learn a lot also by you showing them how you are responding towards their actions. Because if you're gonna hate on hate,
yes,
you need to actually, those who hate, you show them love. Even in a relationship, when your partner is actually still having struggles in terms of like saying sorry, being patient, and all this things. Show the opposite. Show them. Show them. And then they will see that, that's why I was saying earlier on that people learn, even kids, they learn more with what you portray than what you say, So when you keep on showing people that, even your partner, if she does something wrong to you, okay, baby, about the argument that we had earlier on, I just want to say I'm sorry because I do miss you. Let's,
and it melts the heart.
It melts the heart. Now, it does help, but that's why I'm saying that we need to pray and patience with people, because yes, not everybody's going to be in the same levels as we are with, So people will take time, and God is going to work their way through them. In due time, people will actually get to the level of growth as well, because growth, I've got a sister of mine who's actually more mature than me, and I'm older by years, but she's very matured. And,
Anatu.
Anatu. She's matured.
Yeah.
And so we can't really say that maturity is about an age. You will find a 40-year-old man who still goes to parties with young 16-year-olds, and you're like, how bad are you? So old to be doing this. So wisdom needs to find you. Knowledge has to find you. That's what actually makes you go. You can find a 16-year-old boy, actually how he thinks and how he does things, and you're like, you've got an old soul. So it's not about an age. So
nah, man, I think we've touched on a lot. I'm so grateful for everything that you've shared. Hopefully people will take it in. This channel, like I said earlier, it's all about teaching and educating, and I wanted to speak to you because I knew that I was gonna get something out of you that was impactful, because we watch it from a distance. We don't know for sure what do you deal with or whatever, but from what we see, it's like, there's some growth here. There's a lot of things going on. This is Andrew Chinchilla, man. Like, there's something about her. Like you said, used to be hot-headed, like, on fire.
I'm fuming. You can see the steam on my head. But now also another thing, like if you ask me, like also how I also manage my steam, because there are moments whereby you like,
of course,
you want to steam and you're like, this person is really insulting. So I've managed to also find ways, because you need to find ways how to manage these kind of things. Don't just only be like, I'm always a good Samaritan. Don't block the emotions. They will definitely come. There's joy, there's happiness, there's sadness, there's grief, but you have to find a tactic, like, how do I deal with it? And that's very important, because if you are in denial, I'm always a good person, you will never see me like this. Just find a way how to deal with this, and what works for you, it will actually, impact you in a good way.
By the way, are you still into business?
Business, I love business, guys. Actually, when everyone asks me about this, when I was having this business partner, Kumgani, and he brought so much pushing, also on me. But I still do love business. I think it's something that I'll still do. I'll still get into that space.
Okay.
For me, it's a passion, man. It's a passion. It's a passion, and I just need to get to that point again, revive that spirit again. But it's gonna come.
Alright. Now, whenever it does, Masala will support, man. Try push it as much as we can on our platforms once this grows, and keep going, keep pushing, man. Keep doing your thing. Keep raising these kids, wonderful children. Wonderful family, and from the way you're speaking, it sounds like the family unit is gonna come together. There's gonna be something that's gonna come out of it, if you're saying you're into marriage, it seems like it's coming. Something about it is gonna happen. But yeah, it went black, man. Now it's chilled. I'm closing it anyways, and I have the audio, so it's chilled. Yeah, is it off?
Yeah, it's off. The battery was on 2 bars.
Oh yeah, the camera has a problem. What's happened with another interview? But yeah, man, guys, thanks a lot for joining in. This was Sis Angie.
Thank you.
Big sister of mine, very knowledgeable, wisdom, came with experience. And I hope you guys took a lot from this. I hope all of the women out there, whether young or old, took something from this. And hope you guys had a beautiful Women's Month. It's not just about the month, like this is the only time we acknowledge you guys, but it's just one of those things of like, it's like a birthday where it's like, oh, you just get time to celebrate, but we'll always obviously be a woman. Yes. But otherwise, shout out, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share it, comment if you're inspired by this, and I will see you next week, Tuesday, 4 p.m. Peace.